Wow, here we are again, folks. Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. I'm going to put a little tape on. I have hundreds and hundreds of tapes that I play all the time. They're tapes from, some of them are from back. This tape here was done in 1988, I think. And it was about Loving and Leading by Jerry Vines. And he was the preacher in Jacksonville, Florida, First Baptist. If you can look up him, Jerry Vines, look up that name, and find him. He's one of the best preachers you'll ever study behind. And I've studied behind him for years and years. This is another guy, Brother Dolphus Price. I knew him personally. And he was an evangelist. In June of '92, he preached this message, and I was privy to hear him many times. And then I've got this guy by the name of Dr. Fred Wolf. I never knew Brother Wolf, but he was my brother in the Lord. And I listened to much of his works. And I listened to Brother David Jeremiah on a regular basis. I have about 12 or 15 sets, and each set has anywhere from 6 to 10 tapes in it. And then I have Brother Adrian Rogers. I recommend you find these guys, Jerry Vine, Adrian Rogers. You find these guys on the YouTube, but find them on the computer and watch them. And then we have Les Feldick teaches on a chalkboard. On the TV, on the YouTube. I forgot what's that brand, how you get to him, but he's there. Very, very good, positive teacher. Very good. And there are many, many. Dr. Stanley out of Atlanta, Georgia. He is something else. He's a man of God. And then I listened to many others. I listen to many others, and of course I have tapes of Tom Malone, and I have all the Tennessee Temple people from back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I have hundreds of tapes from people that were at Tennessee Temple in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I used to go there. Matter of fact, if the truth be known, much of the education that I have, spiritual education I got from Tennessee Temple. I applied there at Temple right after I got saved in 1972 to see if I could go there to school. And if they ever had a failure, it was that the fact is because I didn't have a high school education, they wouldn't let me go to school there. Well, since then, God allowed me to go to a school called Titus Baptist Seminary out of LaGrange, Georgia. You can look that up, Titus Baptist Seminary. I went to that for 4 or 5 years and graduated. Got a degree in Bible without a high school education. I'm a dyslexic speller, and therefore I have a problem with writing down things. Even though I write them down, somebody has to correct all of the spelling. And many of the times, the people that correct it for me will ask me, what is this word? They'll call me up and say, hey, Pete, I'm trying to type this over for you. What is this word you have here? And they would spell it. And I say, I have no idea. Even myself, I don't have an idea. So that's the way it is sometimes. But anyway, God has blessed my life, and I have 6 children, all doing well. And my wife went on to heaven early. She went to heaven in April last year. And God's allowing me to grow in faith. He's allowing me to grow in spirit. He's allowing me to grow in temperance. He's allowing me to grow in what I have to be able to help others in what they need. And so that's what I'm able to do, and that's what I'm doing. I actually am not a counselor, and by the way, I faced that, I crossed that bridge several years ago. I went to the state of Alabama, and I live in Georgia. I bought an old schoolhouse, I turned it into a mission, and I counseled people. And I got called in by the state of Alabama. And they called me into a room, and they had some people there, and they asked me for my credentials. I said, what credentials? I was an alcoholic. God saved me from alcohol, lying, cheating, stealing, running wild, and put me in the Bible. And my credentials is I've been sitting under preachers for 15 years or so, and I've had several missions, and I counsel with people, a Christian counselor. Well, they want to see my credentials. I said, well, I don't have what you're asking for. And they said, well, you cannot, in the state of Alabama, say that you are a counselor without the state's permission. So therefore, we forbid you to use that word that you are a counselor. So I couldn't use that word in the state of Alabama anymore, but I was still a counselor. I was a counselor that couldn't say I was a counselor. And so I counseled with people and tried to help people, especially people in alcohol. And then the big drug scene came on, and the big drug scene, you couldn't help anybody. They stole the pots and pans I had. They sold the food that I'd take down the food to them. They'd sell it and just fool them with the drugs. They stole my car. They stole my truck, got them both impounded. Every time I turned around, I had to deal with a law official because of the guys I was helping. And it just didn't work good. So I can't say that I threw away through 4 years of my life. I can't say I threw it away. If one is in heaven today, because of those 3 or 4 years, it was worth it. It was worth it. Just one escaped hell. Hell is fire. Hell is hell. There's a hotter place in hell, and there's a cooler place in hell, but neither one is good. They're all bad. The cooler hell is bad, and the hotter hell is bad. And so there are degrees in hell, just like there are degrees in heaven. There are degrees in heaven. Believe it or not, there are some. We'll have one crown given to us called the crown of righteousness. We get, when I say, Jesus, I am a sinner. Forgive me of my sin, come into my heart and save my soul. God gave me a crown. I have that crown. When I enter into heaven, I will cast that crown at Jesus' feet and tell him, thank you, that I can live eternally in this place of bliss, in this place called heaven. And I can't even begin to tell you what I know about heaven and the heavenly realm, and what I know. I can't begin to tell you. It's too much. And besides that, it would sound too far-fetched to you if you're not in the Word, if you're not close to God. I do know this. If you go to work for a man or a woman or a company or anywhere, they expect to see something at the end of the day. If you say, Jesus, forgive me of my sin, come into my heart and save my soul, he expects to see something at the end of the day. He is the vine. He is the vine. Look at and turn your Bible to John chapter 15. While you're turning, I'm going to put a tape on, and I'm going to play a spot of music here that I play over and over again. I've been playing it last night when I went to bed. I put it on. I played it until I went to sleep. And then I flick it over and I play it again. And I played it several times. I play it. And I ingrained it in my head and in my heart. But listen to this. Where we are today. Now I'm going to speak along with this man singing. This man is a local man. His name is Harold McWaters. He's out of Troup County, Georgia. And he's not a professional. He's just a man that sang a tape, sent it over to the radio station. I ended up with it, and I'm going to replay it to you and me. See, I'm the true vine, Jesus said.
I'll be true to the stranger of Galilee.
See, Jesus said to be true.
The Savior of man.
And be true to Jesus, the one that saved us.
When the heavens are open and Christ descends. I'll be waiting when he comes back again.
Wow. He's coming again to get us, catch us away.
Rest on the banks of the river of life.
Just think, we have that life.
Of Jesus, the King.
We drank the water of life from Jesus, and we're on the river of life.
Faithful and
We are to be grateful and faithful
his hand.
to Him.
I'll be true till he comes
True.
back again.
True to His church.
I'll be
True to the men of the
to
cloth.
the Savior.
True to the Bible.
For me, I'll be led
He is the vine
by the
dresser.
scars in his hand.
Do you let Him dress you every day
Just to hear
with something out of His
him
book,
whisper,
spiritual,
my child,
so that you can
well done.
win others?
I will meet him when he comes.
You know, we are a branch,
again.
and that branch is going to curl around and meet the vine and come back. See, that's the river of pure life. That's the river of everlasting life.
I'll be faithful
Wow.
and ready.
Yeah. Every branch in me, He said, that is not faithful, I'll cut off and purge it. Are we ready? Are we going to be the branch that He wants us when He comes back? Are we going to be faithful? Are we going to be ready?
I'll be true.
We're going to be true.
Back again.
Wow. It's going to show up. Just think, that little bitty song, that little bitty thing. You say, Brother Peter, how many times you listen to it? I couldn't count them if I had to. It's just a peaceful little thing to go to sleep with. And then if I stir for a minute, I reach over there with my hand and flick it over. I can turn it over without even looking at it. And I just reach out there and I know where it is, and I press that button, flip it over and put it right back in and play the other side. Just peaceful. God sends us stuff in our life that is peaceful, that we can live with, that we can love, that we can do it. John chapter 15 is the true vine. He is the true vine. I'm going to take the next song is Be True. I'll be true. Oh, we just did that. There's a way now. There is a way. There is a way. I'm going to play that now. There is a way. Wow. And same guy, spiritual guy. Have you ever listened to something and the Lord just jumped right on you with it?
There's a way so much greater than sin. There's a life so much greater to win. Though Satan tempts on every hand, he can't claim the promised land. There's a way so much greater than sin.
There's a way so much greater than sin.
Is the light.
He's the light, the life, the way.
Jesus, my Lord.
Jesus, He's my Lord. Is He yours?
Is the truth, the light, and the way.
That's it. The truth of life.
There's a way so much greater than sin.
Yes.
There's a life so
I thought there wasn't no better way than a bottle of alcohol and something wicked.
on every hand.
Jesus came along and
He
said,
can't claim
I'm
the
better
promised land. There's
all
a way
this
so
world
much greater than sin. There's a way so much greater than sin.
so much greater than sin.
There's a life so much greater to win.
There's a great life in this
Though
life.
Satan tempts on every hand, he can't claim the promised land. There's a way so much greater than sin.
Wow. just a little old skit like that and just think how much truth there is. All truth. All truth. A way so much greater than sin. How about that? I thought I had the world by the tail when I was in that old alcohol and sin, out there rattling and end up fighting and getting thrown in the can and getting out and doing all that stuff and thinking that it was a good way and it was the devil's way. There's a way so much better if you'll just give up to the Lord and give in. That's what you need to do today. If God sent you to listen to this particular excerpt, act on it. See you next time. Bye-bye.